Welcome back to the Corny Dads Podcast. Here we are, episode 4.
Damn,
4
already.
Yeah.
Easy, man. Easy.
Yeah, let's go. It's been a week since we talked last, so we're about to dive in to what each other has been going through. But first,
as always,
the same beverage as last time because it's good. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that was solid. Dude, that's how we need to do the clapper. Instead of the clapper, it's the x.
Oh, yeah, we can get rid of the clapper.
Yeah.
There you go. Cool.
Yeah. Cheers.
Very nice, very nice. So you're just telling me about your waterfall experience and how someone went underneath the waterfall. That's a big Pacific Northwest thing, is going on big hikes with your family. What does this guy do? He did that.
Big hike with the family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's super fun. We're from Pittsburgh originally and moved out here about 10 years ago or so. And like hiking has been one of the biggest things we kind of fell into.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, there's in Portland we're on the west side of Mount Hood, and then on the east side of Mount Hood is the Fruit Loop. Have you ever been on the Fruit Loop?
I've picked up brochures on it. So that I think that means that I've been on one of the parts.
You probably definitely been at some point along.
Yeah, and being a kid growing up here, I've probably done a lot of it that I've forgotten. Dude. So I did a bunch of cool shit before I was an adult, and then like less conventionally cool shit after I've been an adult.
Come on.
Like I realized the other day that before I was 18, I went to like at least like 5 states, Canada maybe 3 times, England once or twice, and then since I've been over 18, I've been to California and I went to Iowa once.
What the fuck? Come on, man. Come on.
I just straight up. I like realized the other day. I'm like, oh, okay. Like I've driven into Washington. I've like driven to Colorado. Okay, so there's a little more. But like, dude, I've been on a plane like a couple times since I've been 18. Like I burnt out. Like I like traveled a lot, and it was kind of like intense as a kid to like go visit family down south, and then satisfy my parents' cravings for outward adventures in like outdoorsy shit. So like going on crazy places to go camping and hiking. It just wasn't like, I didn't feel like continuing to deep dive that as an adult. It was kind of nice to just be like, I'm going to wake up and chill. I'm going to go to Whole Foods today. Instead of like, I don't know. It's kind of nice. Yeah. I was thinking about that because I thought like, damn, you've been a well-traveled individual.
Yeah. Yeah, we've definitely...
More so than...
Yeah. I mean, we did... I wouldn't say like we were like super well off or anything growing up, but you know, we did fine. We did vacations. Yeah. Wouldn't say like we didn't fly anywhere as a kid. Like I remember my first few times being on a plane. Well, yeah, just as I grew older, it was my first few times on a plane. Yeah. And then... once college hit, and then my life since then has been a lot of travel. A lot of travel. Like, the wife and I have been good handful of places. Like, Thailand, Australia, Peru, Italy, Nicaragua.
Damn. Yeah. How are the South American countries?
Dope.
Dope? Okay.
Dope. Dude, like, our like, kind of... like rule of thumb for travel for like years was cheap.
Okay.
Wherever the fuck we can go, that like you know $100 is gonna like dominate. Like we are gonna do awesome for like 4 days on $100. Like let's go. Okay. Like so that was like, dude, like Thailand, like Peru's definitely was more built up than Nicaragua. Nicaragua was a bit more you know a bit rougher. But like, dude, like fucking love Nicaragua. Nicaragua, there's a lake in the center of it called Lake Nicaragua. Okay. In the center of that lake is an island made up of like 2 volcanoes. Dope. And there's like a town. I think like one town on that island. And the road is literally a figure 8. So it goes around the big volcano and then around the small volcano. And they've paved enough of it in the past like 12 to 15 years that everything but when we were there like 3 years ago, so it might actually be paved the whole way around, but we stayed on a farm that was like 200 yards past the end of the paved road. So like you drove, like went to town, we rented a 4-wheeler because we were ballers. Dude, like we were like driving the 4-wheeler. Everyone else has these little mopeds, and it was like, but dude, to rent a 4-wheeler for the week was like $120.
Damn.
And like that was it for a fucking week to drive around a fucking like, dude. There's a bunch of hikes. We went on a few different hikes. There was like waterfalls that we went up to. We met a fucking super cool couple from, the guy was from France and the girl was from, I think she was Canadian as well. Yeah, because she was same as Jen, they're Canadian. Damn. But we met them because they were staying in the same like little farm as us. So we're like, jump on. They would jump on the back. We'd freaking just mob around the island on that thing.
Wait, so you stayed on the island with the figure 8?
Yeah. We had
so you gotta take a boat?
Yeah.
Bridges?
Sketchy ass boat.
Third world country boats.
As they're telling us as we're getting on. Like, first of all, I sat like next to the engine was like my seat, where like my feet were like underneath the moving engine parts. Like I just got up and stood on the front of the boat the whole time. Like, but I mean, like the seats were literally just like benches of like really worn wood.
Right, we're so blessed in America. It's so easy to forget. Like when I think of a boat, I think of like a ferry on the Puget Sound.
Nah, bro.
Nah,
bro.
There's like snacks.
This is like they took a fucking regular like metal boat, threw a big engine in the center of it, and then built a like top deck on it so they could fit more people. As we're loading it, they're telling us that last year one of these things went down and everyone on it died.
Damn.
And we're like,
that's what you tell people.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And I'm looking at Jen going like, okay, so as soon as this thing starts going down, I'm going to jump in. You're going to hold on to my waist, but I need you, don't just, you can't be freaking out and pulling on me, but I will keep both of us up. Like at some point you're going to, and like I'm giving her the full laydown of like how you're going to survive this boat going down, because we're going to get as far away from these people that don't know how to swim as possible.
Oh, because they'll grab onto you.
Yes.
I've heard that it's the most dangerous. It's actually dangerous to try to help someone who's drowning.
Yes.
And that you're supposed to wait till they just like give up.
Yeah.
Gnarly.
So like, as a trained professional, I know what to do to like get them, but it's like guaranteed if they're freaking out and start grabbing onto me,
I'm going down too.
I know 2 moves to get myself as far away from this person as possible until they stop. And it's something that they teach you during, so you don't get it too much in your pool lifeguarding classes, but if you ever do like an open water, like a lake or an ocean rescue, they teach you about it a lot in those classes, because it's you are dealing with panicked public, and at least at a pool you're contained, but whenever you're dealing with like water that's also bringing you down, and like maybe seaweed or some sort of like organic growth underneath, like you drop underwater because you're more contained and you know that you can go underwater, so you take a big breath and you pull them underwater with you, so they'll normally let go because you're going under. And if they don't do that, you literally both hands and feet in between you and the person, and then just
push off.
Get them away.
Oh my god! Have you ever had to save anyone?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I think I've done under a dozen.
Yeah.
But over like 4 or 5.
Any like real ass big adults?
Yeah, one dude.
Sketch.
I was giving lessons to him, and he panicked, and I had to. He's like 300 odd pounds. I had to just put him on my head and stand on the bottom of the pool. And I just remember like the adrenaline's flying. I remember like feeling like I'm underwater for a very long amount of time. I should be more worried about my breath right now, but like I like something, just because of the mental state that you're in and what I knew I had to do at the moment, it was just like, nope, I'm going to stand here until this guy stops freaking out, because this is what I have to do, or else this guy's going to drown.
Damn. But it had to be like some lifeguard jumped in during that
Unfortunately, no. It was at a learn to swim facility, so it was just me and like a teenage girl that was giving lessons to like a pair of like 2-year-olds in the other pool.
Oh no!
At the time. Oh so no. Yeah, it was. I was in a. Luckily, I was only in an 8-foot deep pool, so it wasn't. So it was deep enough that I could stand on the bottom, sit him on my head, and like slowly walk towards the wall so he could grab on.
Wow.
Yeah. The dude was super cool. Like I mean, he swallowed water. I'd been lessons with him for months at this point. And he would come twice a week. I mean, it was just lessons with him frequently. And so much power to anyone out there that is an adult that tries new things.
Yeah.
Dude, and with swimming, if you're an adult and you don't know how to swim and then you go, oh, I'm going to go learn, so rad, because that is a deep fear of something that can kill you, that you are going, I'm going to try and deal with this.
That's real. Damn.
Dude, it's rad. It's so gnarly. It is so gnarly. It's dude, I have a phobia of heights. And it's trying to tell me, go learn how to climb. No, that's all right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But it gives props in so many ways, because they're confronting that fear and addressing their overweightness by choosing fitness at the same time. That takes a lot of energy for people like that.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. And shit happens, for real. You can be really level-headed and still make mistakes and get into a situation like that.
And I mean, he was doing rad. He had worked himself up to be able to go. It was a really odd pool. It was a learn to swim center. So the pools were designed for that. It was in Beaverton.
What would that mean, though? Because I know a pool to be a shallower end and a gradual sloping into a deep end. What's the learn to swim one?
So learn to swim, same thing. It's going to be a lot smaller. So imagine almost like a backyard pool, but in ground at a in a facility.
And maybe longer than a backyard pool?
Yeah, but not so the one that I worked at, we had one that was probably about 10 yards long by 2.5 lanes wide. So a lane is probably about 6 feet or so.
That is not big.
No, not at all.
It's hella small.
But it's enough that you can teach someone how to you can teach them to put their face in the water, go under, get comfortable, because it went from 3 to 6 feet, or 3 to 8 feet.
Okay.
And then there was another pool in there though that was 10 yards by 10 yards, so it was square, but it went from a foot to 2.5 feet. So that was for toddler swims and stuff. Yeah. Which is rad, because then you can literally let them run.
That's the pee pool.
Whatever. I was heavily chlorinated.
Dude.
Heavily chlorinated.
We went to the toddler swim on last Saturday, and it was fun. It's a lot of kids, a lot of parents, a lot of dad bods. It's really fucking funny. It's just literally so classic. It's what am I fucking doing? But no. So we're in the toddler pool, and we kind of we do a little lap. We go through the lazy river, we go back, and then we go into the toddler pool again, and I look down, saw some chunks of something. I saw something. And I thought, rather than just sort of really stop up everything, I just kind of looked away.
Keep moving. That's not your job. That is where you grab the kid, get out, and go, all right, we're going some other way.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, I went to the other, the opposite corner. And I was I'm going to be fine on this corner.
It's on the way out, you give the lifeguard, what's up, you're going to have to close this bitch down for a while.
Yeah, that was a problem.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
And all the moms get looking cute, and all the dads are just slobs like me.
Right?
It's so funny. Oh. But okay, so we need to circle back.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. We're talking about poop and pool. I got stories, bro.
Okay.
I got stories. The best one.
Go off.
So, for a while, a portion of my career was working at higher end athletic clubs.
Sure.
So nice ass, people are paying a good amount of money. There's a spa there. People are pretty much wiping your ass for you around this place. It's awesome. In each of the locker rooms, they had a setup where it was a steam room, hot tub, and then sauna. And this was right across from the showers. So, I mean, balling, dude.
Bougie.
It was amazing. After real quick, after a swim lesson, perfect routine. A little chilly because you've been standing still in a cold pool for 30 minutes while this kid freaks out.
I got hella cold, so I was super cold.
Dude, and like you'll have lessons for like 3-4 hour stints.
Oh, yeah.
So as soon as it ends, your core temperature is down. Literally like bound into and jump into the hot tub. Yes. Because it's like you get off the pool, down a short little hallway, and then boom, hot tub, sauna, steam room. So boom, right into the hot tub because it's that immediate, just shocks your system warm.
Yeah, it just feels amazing.
So then after that, climb out, get into the sauna, sit in the sauna for a while to really build up that sweat, build up that core temperature again. Yeah. And then into the steam room to like kind of wash it all off you.
There you go.
And then from there into a colder shower because by that point you're
too hot.
Dude.
It's too fucking hot. Wow, what a routine.
Dude, it was amazing.
How does poop play into this?
So, tell you about this hot tub.
Which I learned later in adult life that they're like kind of a breeding ground, and I was like, oh, that's...
Super gross.
Yeah.
Super
As a kid, I was the kid diving, going under in the hot tub. I was like, it feels great. Yeah. You don't want to do that necessarily.
Just, I will not go into public hot tubs.
Noted. I'm put up on game by a swimming expert.
Won't go in public hot tubs. Also will not go in hotel pools unless you can stand on top, look down, and count every tile on the bottom of the pool. If you can't do that, that means that there is more organic matter in the water than the chlorine can kill.
Oh, no.
That's why shit gets cloudy. That's why anytime you look in a pool and it's slightly cloudy, you really can't see that well.
So that's why when you go to somewhere nice, you're like, wow, this looks so nice.
When you, like the facility that you go to, top notch. That place is dope. Yeah. Like they keep that place fucking spotless. We go there for swim meets, go there for fun stuff. That place is rad.
Hell yeah.
So poop.
But the hot tub.
We have a lot of elderly people at the thing.
Oh. Yep. We do at our pool too.
Guy has an accident, an older gentleman in the hot tub. Shit happens. You know, did you get that?
Corn in the comments. Put corn in the comments, guys. Fucking cornball. Shout out all my cornballs.
Like, things happen. Hundreds of times by this point, I've had to clean human matter at a pool. It's part of the job. It's what it is.
You heard it here, folks.
So, guy has an accident, older gentleman. We find out much later by seeing, stuff floating. Cool, whatever. Drop it, clean it.
Yeah. Like a one-time thing, okay, yeah. Like that, I'm sure you're embarrassed. This is also part of our job.
We literally have a code for what we have to do whenever this happens. It happens so often.
I thought this was like a shit cleaner.
This is the amount of poop.
we have a thing that holds this much.
It's like half the guy.
I don't even know how he did it. He just emptied himself.
80-pound man, 40 pounds of shit. It's wild.
You have protocol.
Yeah, so there's steps in protocol that we have to take whenever it's a code brown. Code brown. So code brown called. We do our steps. We do everything that we have to clean it out. Clean the whole thing out. Sanitize it. Fill it back up. Turn the heater back on. Heats back up. Last thing that we do, we throw on the jets. Clean the jets out, get that all, because the water has to go through the jet system as well as the pool system.
Yeah.
Turn the jets on. Shit cannons. This guy, to help try and cover it up, grabbed everything and started shoving it in all the jets.
No.
Thinking that'll make it disappear. Like those are drains.
No.
Yeah.
Filling the guns with ammo.
Literally
until you just unleashed.
Talk about the process is like a 30 minute to 45 minute process because it's smaller hot tub.
Well, no, but let's put it in perspective. It's still money and time in multiple different ways for the facility and for the people involved. It actually does cost money for them and it costs time. So they're paying someone to do it. So we'll take it on the chin, but it's it actually costs money.
As soon as you hit the jet button, they're like standing there looking at a boot. And there is something really nice about like cleaning a pool and getting it like getting it scrubbed clean and getting back, because then the water is beautiful. There is nothing in it because you vacuumed and you swept it. It is refilling a body of water is a very satisfying thing. So like you're looking at this glorious pool, you hit the button and just
just like chunks. No,
just chunky brown.
So you go from like, all right, we're in the clear. We fixed the problem to like, how fucking dare you, Edgar?
I am ready to move on to the next thing in my day to like, this is going to be my entire day. Because this means that like...
Well, you don't know how packed in it is.
And like you have to clean you have to like take apart the jets.
Yeah,
the
they're
jets are a head
dispersing matter.
So I am now taking apart 8 different jet heads and like soaking and dumping all of them as well. And then it's a special little like cleaner that you put on the back end of the jet system that then pumps through the jet system to clean that out too.
So what, you almost have to take them out, clean them, put them back in for the jet cleaner, and then probably take them out again.
One time out and in, but not that bad. But still, like it is a whole nother process that now you're doing multiple times.
Oh my god.
It was rad.
Legendary.
Yeah, dude.
What a fucker. So then you have to address this somehow. Is he a regular?
You don't address it.
You don't address it?
Dude, did you not hear me when I first started this story? We are at a high-end athletic club.
Oh, okay. So you're like... Hey,
the amount of stuff these people had to do to, like, get addressed... We had this one mom that would come get shit-faced on the pool deck every single day. Like, that was her thing, was I'm going to come and, like, just watch TV and get wasted on the pool deck while my kids just do whatever the fuck.
Oh.
One of the kids had to get us sitting down and told that, like, the lifeguard's job wasn't to save them every time. It was whenever there's an emergency, they save you. Because he was just like, dope, his job is to save me. I don't know how to swim, but I can jump in the deep end because it's his job to come save me. So, like, 3-4 times a day. Woo! Into the deep end, right down to the bottom. One of my lifeguards is jumping in and pulling this kid out.
Oh my god.
Mom is just like, he's crazy.
Isn't he wild? He's such a wild kid.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, what the fuck?
But the amount of money these people are spending at this athletic club, because like, so the athletic club also had a full like restaurant and bar in it as well.
What's membership?
You could do a family for like $3.99 a month.
Okay.
And that was mom, dad, and I think 2 kids.
Pretty expensive.
Yeah, and that was your like sign on. That was a whole varying rate. You know, that was a general sign on to like, you know, your entry membership fee.
All right, guys, coming at you with a little ad.
Yo, my name's Gabagool. I'm Italian. Please cut all that shit out. Gabagool Glassworks on Instagram. My real name is Nick Benvenuti. Hence why the whole Gabagool thing. Very, very Italian. But Ben was really cool and got me onto the torch. I mostly fell into Vortex marbles.
Show it to us. Yeah, let's see if they can pick it up. Well,
yeah,
there we go.
All right. So, yeah, Vortex marbles, some dot stack work. Have some fun with it. Check me out on IG. Anything that you see on Instagram is available.
Hell yeah. Unless it's sold.
Truth, unless it's sold. There is some stuff that is sold.
Hit them up, guys. Vortex marbles, slurper sets, pearls, pillars. You got what you need. All right, just as usual, right when it's heating up, we have to cut to an ad. These ad sponsors are just outrageous. We have to satisfy them. They're so demanding. But here we are, meeting demands. So we're back to it. High-end athletic clubs and the towels that went missing because of entitlement of rich people.
I don't necessarily remember the exact number, but it was somewhere in the like 15 to 20K a month.
Oh no!
On towels.
No!
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Well, so, certain clubs, you'll get, like, monogrammed ones. Oh, so you have, and, like, as an athletic club, that is, like, kind of a standard thing that, like, the higher up you get in the athletic club game, the way that you stand out and signify yourself is, like, everyone's going to be going into the locker room and grabbing a towel. So if the bigger, nicer, plushier towels, that is how you signify that you are a bigger, nicer, plushier athletic club.
Right.
Like 24-Hour Fitness, you don't get a towel.
I would be impressed, like who has a monogrammed towel and isn't a total dick? Like, like there's not that much crossover of people who are tolerable and people who also have monogrammed towels. Like, if I get to the monogram towel part of my life, there's no way I'm not driving a Tesla and being like, fuck you, poor people. Like, that's like what you're fucking doing at that point. A monogram towel?
Fuck yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's the only thing you'll touch, bro. Only thing.
Excuse me. My monogram towel wasn't in there today. I'm just going to give you guys a warning that if it doesn't happen again, I'm going to find a new provider. Like
Come on, expectations, man. That is expectations.
Losing that much a month, yeah. Jesus Christ, was it?
Dude, I remember we got a different style of towel, like at one of the clubs that I worked at, because I worked for a whole string of them. But like one of the clubs that I worked at, yeah, they switched towels as a way, again, to save a little bit of money, and they didn't get as nice as big of towels or whatever. And like immediately everyone was like, what are we doing here? Why are we paying money? What is this worth? Well, where is my money going? It's not going to the equipment. The equipment's been the same for years. It's like, oh, so you're going to skimp on towels now? Like, oh, shit.
Yeah. We don't get towels at our place.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's probably really smart.
Cheap.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Yeah. And it's still really nice.
No, you're with poor people.
Yeah, that's true. I got to be around. It's so awful. It's so fucking awful.
So stupid.
Wow. So RFID track towels. So they were gonna put like a tile looking tile purpose device.
It was like it was like a small strip that they hid into the stitching, and then you had a sensor at the door. So like as people tried to walk out with your towels, they'd be like, bang! And you'd be like, "You're stealing our towels. Please put them back."
But really, you can't even say that. So you gotta be like, "Oh, I think you made a mistake.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think you forgot.
I think you forgot to put the towel back." And it's like, I know you're stealing our towels. Like,
dude, it was like a serious time and effort went into figuring out how to make sure people didn't walk out with towels.
You look up on Facebook Marketplace, there's 17 listings. Cashmere luxury towel for sale. Quantity available.
River Place Athletic Club monogram towels.
Yeah.
2 for $10.
DM for customization. Like, fucking get custom names printed on them.
Best.
God damn. That's quite a length to go to.
Yeah.
And that is quite a different world than Nicaragua.
Dude. Yeah, we fucking really went off the rails there.
That was quite a rail off the rails type of fucking thing. Okay, how do we even reel it back? We went way off track.
Doing off track, yeah. Might as well just
That's okay.
To the next thing.
Forgive us.
Yeah.
No. But so the other thing I was thinking of with Nicaragua stuff is we've been watching River Monsters. Do you know that show?
Oh, yes.
The one where Jeremy Wade catches very big fish.
Yeah.
Shit's so dope.
Is that what you're going to get into?
Well,
you've been doing a lot of fishing lately.
It's a very specific type of fishing, because that's a earn it type of fishing where you go like 2 weeks to catch this really obscure giant fish, and then like maybe you do or maybe you don't. I'm trying to go somewhere and just catch fish all day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm trying to do. I mean, I'd love to catch a big fish sometime, but that's like a biologist going for like the niche kind of fish that's like never been seen before or something. Or really the premise is that he goes for like man-eating ones that like, that's the whole show. You're not a hardcore watcher.
I'm not a hardcore watcher, definitely not. No, I did hear something like he had caught like all the hard fish or some shit at some point.
I would not be surprised if he completed some type of list of like all the challenging fish. All right, yeah, we're recording. No, so actually how he starts each episode is like individual cases of people dying at the hands of something in the river.
Jesus.
Because I like to think it's always fish, but it actually isn't always fish. There was one we watched last night. There was an anaconda.
And like the movie.
I haven't seen whatever movie you guys are talking about. That's what Mama said too.
Oh, yes!
Yeah.
Shout out to Mama for getting the Anaconda reference. Yes. Yes.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh yeah, like the movie. I don't fucking know what you're talking about.
I said like LL Cool J was in it or something.
What's it called?
Anaconda.
Because I was intimidated. I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about. But, yeah. All right. LL Cool J has his own jewelry line.
1997. Anaconda.
There you go. Well, yeah. So, there you go.
Yeah.
Dope cover. That makes some cool t-shirts.
Right? Look it up.
Yeah. So, so there was bodies that were bruised, and they like ruled out all the fish. They're like, these fish would bite or sting, like a stingray or whatever, and then they came to the realization it's anacondas.
Oh, so they didn't even know that it was...
These are mystery deaths. So the whole premise is they're mystery deaths that happen on the river, and then the whole show is him finding the back end and doing like I guess a reverse autopsy or a regular autopsy, whatever, to figure out the cause of death. So he like knows so much about fish that he's like, it would have to be this or that, or he slowly like narrows it down by like talking to locals and shit. And finds out like what it was. Crazy. Apparently this one was like a 20 to 25 foot anaconda, because one that size can swallow a human.
Dude, it's so hard to wrap your head around how big that actually is.
I know, it just sounds huge as fuck.
I go straight to basketball hoop is 10 feet tall. So that means this fucker went up, like if you killed it, you could hang it from a hoop and it would have head and tail like on the ground.
Comfortably on the ground.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. I think the other thing that probably would wow me in person is probably the girth. That thing probably had a girth certificate. Shout out. No, but for real, it's got to be really fucking big around, because they swallow their prey whole.
Yeah.
And they can go up to 6 months without feeding. Because they'll just like marinate a big stanky pig or something in their guts. In their guts just for 6 months. Takes 6 months to just slowly decompose a giant fucking pig.
New type of intermittent fasting.
Yeah,
let's go.
I'm on the whole pig diet. No, so that was what that one was last night. But previously, one that made me think of the Nicaragua experience on the boat was a boat on the Amazon, which, from my limited understanding, sounds like it would probably feel a little bit like another South American boat trip.
Let's show how dumb American we are. Where's the Amazon?
South America.
It is South America?
I'm almost 100% sure, because the Nile is the one in Africa. The Amazon's the biggest river in the world, I'm pretty sure. If the Nile is. I feel like it's the Amazon and the Nile. Let's check. We're going to fact check right now. But I'll continue on.
Jamie, pull that up.
Mama, pull that up.
Yeah, sorry. Mama, pull that up.
Eventually we'll get there.
Aw. What are you researching Steelers for?
Because Mama made a background for our channel, a channel banner.
Shut up.
And so if you go on the Corny Dad Podcast channel,
I opened up Google, and Google had Steelers pulled up, which, obviously being from Pittsburgh, I bleed black and gold. I don't really care about football or anything about that. But Steelers, yes.
No, Mama was wanting to create a background for the channel, and I was like, and she was like, what would represent like us? And I was like, well, do fishing for me and Italy or Steelers for Nick. And it was like, boom, there we go.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, so that's why that's there. So yeah, we got to find out which is bigger. Where's the Amazon?
Oh, dope. Okay, so yeah, it's in part of Peru. So it is South America. I believe, look like it empties into the Atlantic.
You know what? We should look up Amazon River facts. Because it'll have some fucking mind-blowing things that's the cubic feet is an Empire State Building every millisecond. Or
Let's go. I love that crap.
Shit. I love that shit too.
All right. 12 fascinating facts about the Amazon River. It once flowed in the opposite direction?
Shut the fuck up. What? Cap alert. Caps in the comments. Cap. What the fuck is that?
Oh, so they're saying that because of geography, it used to be that the mouth of the river used to sit higher and the Andes weren't actually mountains yet.
Millions of years ago, though.
Oh, between 65 and 145 million years ago.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So then the Andes River, or the Andes Mountains came up, and then the river flowed the opposite.
I took a geology class one time. And
I'm sorry, just like one day they were just like,
just like,
wait, what the fuck? Boom! We were going that way. How are we going that way?
I was trying to go that way.
How the hell did this happen?
No, I took a geology class one time. I was astounded by how fucking boring it could be. It's like the slowest thing ever on Earth possible. It's like millions of years for any change, and like 5 billion generations past us are still gonna have the same planet. It's like, I'm so like done with this shit. Damn, flowed backwards.
Largest river in the world by volume. So there we go. Answered our question.
Yeah. So I guess maybe the Nile is longer. If this isn't both by volume and size, it must mean that the Nile is longer. But it's murky too in these videos of river monsters.
Oh, dude!
Dude,
because it's all freshwater, so it's all just like rainwater and mountain water that is like flowing through dirt.
Yeah,
like
catching all the sediment from the surrounding areas, and I think it's extremely tidal too, not ocean tidal, but really influenced by like the tributaries and stuff.
Okay.
Because it like goes super high and low apparently.
That makes sense because like rainy season and dry season is like a real big thing down there. So that would make sense as far as like
raging fucking river. Man. What else?
Affects the sea level of the Caribbean Sea.
River dolphins.
There's a river dolphin. That's pretty dope.
River dolphins are trippy as fuck. They look kind of scary. They're like kind of flesh colored. Kind of weird. Well, we need a deep dive before.
A family canoed to the Amazon River from Canada. I don't know how that's an Amazon River fact, but like...
I think a white person wrote this. You guys know what happened?
Hey, guess what some white dude did?
Yeah.
He went a real far way to get there.
Yeah. Amazon people were like, we don't fucking care.
He actually fucked it up when he got here.
Yeah. Like, we hate that person? That's funny.
Ew. Over 100 dams, but no bridges.
There's no bridges? No
That's
bridges? Wild. I find that pretty hard to understand. So the local economies must sustain on things being shipped instead of trucked. It's wild.
Big time, yes, especially in that
Yeah.
that area of the world.
It's not as industrial as like America or Canada or something, so it sustains on a little bit less brick and steel.
Yeah. No. It also says that how you were saying it has a lot of effect the rainy season. That's one of the reasons. It's in part to the seasonal changes of the Amazon River bed. There's so many rainy seasons that the river can rise over 30 feet, tripling the width of the river.
Tripling the width? How do people live anywhere near it?
I think this is such a good case study for how you can assume and think because of where you live.
Yeah.
And then whenever you're just placed somewhere else, it's that is we don't know.
I don't fucking know anything.
Even for I think the same goes for people that live down there, and if they're talking about life in America, that it's you can't wrap your head around it until you're there. So we hear that there's a big river and there's not a single bridge over it.
That's
we literally live in Bridgetown. We live in a town where we're defined by how many bridges span across our river.
Yeah, they're annoying how many there are.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But
they're still building more.
I'm sure if we were just placed down there for a year, it's duh. Yeah. How the fuck would you even build a bridge?
Yeah.
Think about it. How would you build a bridge over something like this? We don't know if it's going to be 10 feet wide or 40 feet wide tomorrow.
Yeah. Wow. Well, logically, it seems like you build one extremely wide, like the Florida ones that go over everything. Build an extremely wide one. But I suppose that's a lot to ask for just local economy. You have to be a really crazy bridge. Wow.
And you gotta think, so those big giant bridges that go from key to key, they are supporting, massive, massive economies, but like, you know, they're supporting a large amount of money that is going between those keys because those are really fucking rich areas. So like somewhere down here, you would have to have that amount of money, you know, just flowing through that area to have a reason to build a bridge that big.
Yeah, you'd have to have a reason that it mattered to like improve the economy. Whereas clearly it works how they've been doing it forever because people have continued to live in that area. Damn, that's gnarly. It has dams?
Yes.
Dams, but no bridges. At what point is a dam a bridge? All the dams I can think of, you walk across.
I was going to say, yeah, is it just a dam, a bridge that hits the ground?
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's kind of sus.
Oh. That also makes a lot of sense. Okay, so if the river is continually widening and the swinging, like, the ground underneath that isn't going to be really solid.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about that almost everything along the Amazon is a floodplain. Like, super unstable floodplains. Damn. So, yeah, like, it makes way more sense. Why wouldn't you just have, like, houses on fucking poles? Yeah. And then a boat? Yeah. And why would you try and get anything around with a car?
It seems stressful. I suppose it must be advantageous for, like, some types of industry or, you know, traveling to different parts of the country maybe. But, like, damn, it sounds stressful as fuck to try to live near somewhere that's super fluctuating all the time. Really dangerous and, like, unruly. Yeah. Damn. But people do it. And good perspective for us white people to learn. Like, damn, people really live like that. That's wild.
I'm sure just get at some point you get. I mean, like it's your daily life. You know that we're so used to like spending a lot of time in cars. Yeah. You know, or having like our. Oh, good example. I always love whenever you get a European who, like, lives in a very old area or whatever, and then come over to America and they're like, "What the fuck is this giant parking lot?" Like, what? Wait a second. Wait. So, you live somewhere that you have to drive to go get food? Whoa. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I mean...
Like, why would you do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Like, I mean, we were in Italy, and there's, like... I mean, we were in a small town in Italy, and it's, like everything is, like, walking distance, and you're, like, right there, and you get around, and, like, because it wasn't built with the idea that every person is going to have a vehicle. And that's how people are going to get around. But that's how, you know, a lot of towns and cities in America, or pretty much America, is built.
Almost entirely.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's like whenever you finally find that, like, really cute little town.
Yeah, you're like, it's so cute.
Like, look how cute it is. You can, like, walk down to the market in the morning.
The post office. Yeah. All right, any more crazy Amazon facts?
It's where 40% of all water in South America ends up. You have to, like, build a bridge across that. Sorry. I don't know if this is going to work, but, like, kind of. Okay, yeah, we're talking about building bridges, and what the fuck? Why isn't there a bridge across it? It's like, what the fuck are you going to build a bridge across?
Yeah. You can build a hovering bridge? What are you going to fucking do? All right, well, the story that stood out to me was, like, a riverboat, like, I can't quite picture what you wrote on it. It sounds like what you wrote on was sort of small. Like, how many passengers? Under 50?
I'd say max would be 50 passengers.
Okay.
For that sort of thing.
Okay.
It was like everyone was tossing their bags on the top, and then, like, there's just benches that you're
so
sitting
intimidating.
on. Like,
oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. All right, y'all. Ad time. Today, this is brought to you by Big Focus Coloring Book number 2. I made this coloring book a year ago. It has 40 images that I hand drew and vectored myself. I contacted the publisher and actually formatted all this myself too, and, like, got it all ready for reprint. It was quite a process, but they were really cool about it. It got printed in Washington, not too far away. So it's made in America, all designed by me, and got plenty of dope images for you to color in with just your classic markers or work perfectly on it. Front and back on a lot of the pages. Shows all the images on the back. Limited to 100 pieces. I got a couple of these. You can hit me up on Instagram and scoop one if you'd like.
Perfect for all ages. Like, have a little kid sitting there playing around coloring on it, or you stoners getting blasted out of your mind after a big gram dab and zoning out coloring. Perfect.
Damn right. Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
We gotta remember to do the clap, always. That's all right. Yeah, so this story about river monsters, there was a boat that sounded eerily similar to your experience, and also very eerily similar because it was also one that had, like, drowned and killed a bunch of people. Except the difference in this one, they, like, couldn't, it happened at nighttime, so they couldn't immediately document everything and make sure, like, catch everyone they could.
Yeah.
So it was, like, it all went down at night, so some time passed before they could actually make a rescue effort. And when they did make a rescue effort, everyone was, like, torn to shreds and bit. And, like, fucking eaten. So River Monsters guy goes there and he's like, I'm Jeremy Wade and I'm here to figure out what the killer is and all this shit. Gnarly.
Dude.
And they had pictures that were, like, super graphic. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Because everyone was like, they were like, what the fuck did this to people?
Yeah. What was it?
Well, there's a few suspects. This one, actually, this was an 1.5-hour episode, and I fell asleep during it. But why I fell asleep was because they were on, the next suspect was, like, a really small fish.
Oh.
Just, like, the least cool. Like, I wanted to be, like, a...
It wasn't the small piranha,
yeah,
alright?
Yeah, like, no, it was something crazy. It was a dinosaur.
It was actually a dinosaur.
Yeah.
It was actually this crazy thing that got made by, like, toxic waste.
There's one in Chernobyl. There's a River Monsters episode in Chernobyl. We'll get into that later. We're all on the Amazon right now. But it sounded like what you're talking about putting bags and stuff up top. But I think the situation was like 2 ferries usually used this route.
Okay.
One of the ferries was compromised from an engine failure or something, preventing it from being used by the passengers. Tons of people have need for said ferry. So this one fateful night, all the people ganged up and jumped on one ferry, like way too many people. And basically just fucking sank it.
Fucking hell.
Like a person was still alive from when it happened. It happened in like the 70s or something, and they're still like figuring it out.
That's nuts.
So like she's old now. It like happened to her when she was a kid or like a young adult. And like she said, people just kept coming on, and she could feel it like keep getting heavier and more sketchy. And then apparently it like made the whole trip, and then the boat like came to dock, and it like kissed the dock, and then like and like fucking tipped at the dock at the end of the trip when they were there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And she said, I looked down and there was water, and it's just like so sketch, and everyone was freaking out. And she said everyone like jumped off. This is terrifying, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like it was pretty scary to watch, I'm not gonna lie. Like, but so everyone like jumped ship. The ship like goes down. Everyone's splashing around in the water, and she said slowly people just stopped splashing and were like taken under. And she's like swimming to shore holding her kid. I cannot imagine being in that situation. I would be freaking the fuck out. And she said she had gotten cut on something as the ship was going down. So she's bleeding in the water, giving signals to all predators, like, come eat me.
Like, shoving other people under, like, take him! Take them! Take them!
You're just, like, shanking other people.
Yeah.
Like, gnarly.
Dude, that's terrifying.
So there was multiple different fish. One person thought it was caimans, which are like crocodiles. Another person thought it was piranhas. I think if I had stuck through to the end, it was going to be all a sort of combination.
Yeah.
Because what they also determined is right, like 100 feet away from the boat landing, a fish market. What they do at the fish market, they process fish. So what had happened throughout, I think they said 100 years, for 100 years, there had been this fish market where they sell fish daily, also chopping the heads and guts off.
Yeah.
And discarding the heads and guts in a central location very close. So like they're at the market, chop them up, end of the day, take all the guts, put them in the river.
Yeah.
So they said over 100 years this became like an absolute feeding ground.
Yeah.
Of all types of creatures and fish would reproduce and know to come to this one location on the Amazon.
And then you have this fucking bigger fish are gonna fucking be the kings there. Yeah, it's not gonna be the little fish coming up and eating.
Yeah.
So,
gnarly. So yeah, there was so many fish. I think what turned out was just like they got attacked by like fucking everything. Because they were so used to being like fed by this little area. They're like, cool, this is what happens.
The once in every 100 years a whole boat flips over. Let's go. They're still sitting down there. The fish are down there talking about it the way we are. Except for they're like, it was wild. You never would have guessed. It was just like they dumped like thousands of pounds of meat right in the river for us. It was great. It was nighttime too. So like, the meat really didn't know what was going on. It was awesome.
And the kid fish were like, I don't know, that sounds crazy.
Like, nah, never. That much food. It was like a buffet. I know you don't know what a buffet is, but it was like a buffet.
Gnarly. River monsters is hella gnarly. So that's what you were up against. That's what would have like happened
Dope.
to you. Yeah. Fuck. Alright, well maybe we should take some questions.
Oh yeah.
People probably heard enough about the Amazon. I couldn't get enough though. I'm probably gonna figure out some books or something.
Like that on the way home, I'm definitely watching some freaking YouTube on Amazon facts.
Just one of those calm talking videos of like, this is what a fact about the Amazon is like.
Dude, I don't know what it is, but like those old school style like documentary films, like the ones that they'd pull into your freaking third grade classroom and throw on whenever the teacher didn't want to do anything.
Oh
for
yeah.
the day. I love those.
I've got a soft spot for those.
Dude, like so driving around having them tell me about like the War of 1812. Like, tell me more. Tell me more. Show me some really terrible B-roll that you guys fucking filmed.
The War of 1812. Amazing. All right. I asked for some questions on my Instagram at BenFocus. If you haven't already, follow me on there and follow Corny Dads Podcast. Next time I'm going to be putting up the question thing on there, so there will be a narrowed chance, which means you have a better chance of getting your question on the next episode. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions. Alright. First one, pretty simple. What made you get into glass? Let's have you go first.
You.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I always, like, from when I first started smoking, I've always been very into glass. So, like, I always had a collection.
So there's two parts.
I was always had a bigger collection than people around me. Yeah, but it was always cheap, shitty glass. But always super into it and always had glass. But I never would have gotten on this side of the torch. Had it not been for you. So for sure, you just kind of asking me if I wanted to get on it the first time and then selling me your old torch and I remember seeing the look in your eyes. You were just like, you can do that? 'Cause you're so humble. You like let people exist and you engage with other people and you don't make things about yourself. I can tell it's just like, you want to fucking do this. Yeah.
Let's go. Hell yeah. You've been at it for about a year now.
Yeah, a little over a year now. Yeah. Very sparingly, but it's been fun.
Yeah, that can be tricky because it's like, oh yeah, I've been doing it for a year, but that statement can mean so many different things.
Yeah.
That it's like you could be going balls to the wall for a year or anywhere in between. And
dude, like real quick shout out, Keto Glass. Yeah. Like we got on the torch, I want to say around the same time, but he has solely focused, not solely focused, but he has progressed and done so much work on that torch in the past year. Like he's done drops with G West, he's done drops with a bunch of different shops and stuff too. Did his first flip the other day. Yeah, big old mush. He's leaning into the mushrooms and mushy stuff, mushy themed stuff, so he did a mushy flip. Hell yeah. He's got an Etsy, check him out. Keto Glass, Keto Glass. Let's go. But yeah, it's like, yeah, you're very, same amount of time, but yeah, it just matters about literally how many minutes on that actual flame. Mm-hmm. But what about you? When did you get into glass?
About 2014 comes to mind, but prior to that, I collected glass similar to you. Always liked having glass. I had to keep it really hush-hush because of my family, so I never had a sort of collection that followed me along. It was just here and there that I had pieces that either broke or were confiscated or lost or whatever. So kind of kept like a reverence to it because I wasn't totally freely allowed to have it. It had this kind of awe to it that was like so attractive and drawing because I couldn't just dive into it completely. So it was always super cool. And then finally in 2014, my drawing work started to pop off and I started to be able to spend more money on stuff, and I wanted to buy bongs because I'd always bought bongs with my money and I love to smoke. So I looked into what cooler bongs you can buy. And that's, you start with the head shops and they have some cool stuff, but then what was just starting to blossom was this online social media sales of pieces like that and the connections you can make with actually figuring out that people existed. It was just like still pretty new. So I kind of started to look into that and find like, whoa, there's artists all across the country who make dope bongs themselves, not for companies, because it's like so normal now, but in the past you always thought like, yeah, like companies make stuff and like businesses.
Zong. Like brands of bongs.
Yeah. But here was this whole new way of doing it that I hadn't really like been part of, but I could like grab parts of it with money. So it was super dope. I started buying pieces. I'm trying to think of like the first pieces. I got a T-Funk Pendy, T-Funk glass. Yeah. Does flips, formerly part of Mothership. It's like cool, trippy artwork stuff. And then I got a Big L mini egg. That was like my first like kind of heady feeling piece. Because whenever you get like a little mini rig, a little full colored mini rig, very much feels like a heady piece. Yeah. I had like a Toro prior to that, which is probably the closest to a heady piece. But that still feels like production because it's a lot of clear and just not that crazy. But once you start getting into those color pieces that are like full color and like original artists, it's like a whole different vibe. So that was dope. From there, like seshed the e-nail a bunch and like wanted pieces to fit the e-nail. Trying to think what else I bought after that, but really like just sort of it all happened really quick and I started to gather a big collection, some of which I still have to this day, but like lots of different pieces from lots of different artists. It's pretty fun. Once you dive into it, you can really like have a fun time just nerding out on all the details and having part of your daily routine be something that is like really pleasing and interesting to the eye. It's dope. It's the reason why a lot of people do this. It's like part of their decompression time or just how they get through these days, and having a little art to it makes it even that more dope. So that all got me into it. And then I was doing a lot of art and selling a lot of art, and in conjunction with these pieces, I would have on my desk, I would have all my art that I'm doing, like posters and drawings or digital illustration or whatever, and then right to the left would be like pieces. And I slowly started to like realize like, wow, like these are pieces with designs. I do designs. And I'm like, yo, what about that? Like, what can we do with that? And then the more I dove on Instagram, I found people like Punty, I believe would be one of the first people who I really saw that you could make a drawing into a bong. There's many others that do it. Even back then, there were others, but he sticks out as one that I saw because I followed a lot of like super heady people, and they would like sell less heady stuff too. That was like closer to what I would buy. But then, yeah, some of the ballers that I bought stuff from, like Quave Club Bangers and stuff, is what I would buy off them because they're like dope ballers. They would have like a Punty piece, and that really let me know like, whoa, that's a thing. Like drawing is a thing on glass. So that's where the dream started, seeing that was possible. I knew it was only a matter of getting the right skills or supplies or both for me to eventually birth that into creation. And I'll tell you now, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, because it's far more than you can recognize before you get your feet wet. Like, you can think like, oh yeah, this will take time and attention. You have absolutely no idea until you like really try to execute it, how much time and attention it takes. It's gnarly.
I've done a lot of things in my life. Like, I've tried a lot of different things, and a lot of them being physical.
Yeah.
Glass might be one of the most challenging things I've ever done. And I mean, I'm a skater. I've been a skater for years. I mean, we talked about this on a podcast before, but like I've been skating for like too long now. Yeah, too long. glass is harder.
It's a specific demand. It's so easy to fuck up.
Yeah.
It takes so much skill, like repetition.
Yeah.
It takes kind of a lot to get yourself into a position to regularly practice it. Yeah. That's another preventative thing. Skateboard you can grab and do after school, and it works pretty well.
As soon as I said that, my mind went straight to like viewers on the other side of the camera, you guys watching this right now, going like, "How dare you fucking say skating is easier or easier?" Because it's not. No, and but kind of made me think that there's a lot of parallels.
Yeah.
You know, doing a kickflip, like making a marble, yeah. But there is a lot of difference in kickflips, like amongst different skaters, and I know one of the biggest things about skating is like. It is like considering an art form and like not wanting it to be an athletic endeavor, but actually like an artistic endeavor. Yeah. Because the way like style and the way that you do it is so important. Like, I've always been a fan of like old school skating. Like my dad took me to Dogtown and Z-Boys way back in the day. Whenever like the documentary, not the fucking weird like Universal movie, but the actual whole documentary about it. Yeah. I remember going to like an industrial place in Pittsburgh to go watch it. He took me out of school for the day. Dope. But like back then, I mean, that was just like style was king. It didn't matter what trick you did. It was how you looked while doing it. Yeah. And I feel like glass is so much that.
Damn, yeah. That's part of the confusion when people make an egg cycler that looks like Jake C's egg cycler. And they're like, I don't understand why mine's 200 and his is 20K. It's like, it's the style. It's like how you flick the kickflip instead of like what that you flick the kickflip. That's not.
I mean, just look at the two rigs that we have on the table right now, you know, and those are two very different styles. Mm-hmm. I would, you know, I wanted to say this earlier when we were talking, so we know we needed to save it for the podcast. So, yeah. You've gone through a lot of kind of like searching for the past like year that I've known you as far as your style and what you're doing. Yeah. We've talked about recently you've leaned more into your carving and seeing how that is an aspect of the glass that, you know, you can feel proud of and like kind of hang your hat on that as part of you. Like you're getting to the point where the attachments and accents and the carvings that you're putting on is getting to be like just as good as the, you know, the bigger brands that they're bigger artists that have their signature like color pattern or their signature whatever, like the carving and the way that you've been able to now make what you're carving onto. Because I mean, what you pulled out your old thing the other day of like all the first stuff that you made and carved on.
Gnarly, right?
And you can see even just like this so this tablet on the back here. Just a little bit of zoom. See if we can focus for a second.
Just takes it a second.
We can do it.
Yo, tap it.
There we are. Oh. 1, 2. So anyways, this tablet. Previously, in other tablets that you would have made and carved, the color itself of the tablet was a little bit worky because of how much you had to work it and get it into the shape. Yeah. But you are now able to make like your palette or your canvas. Yeah. Like you're able to make the canvas perfectly clean, so whenever you carve on it, it's also perfectly clean and it looks so much better too. So yeah, it's been really, really fun, interesting, awesome to watch that development happen.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's been super cool. Especially, I mean, the past like month, you've leaned into the pipes and your more recent rigs and stuff. It's super cool.
That parallels with what you're saying because I'm focusing more on the style than on the completion. I have for many weeks, months, years, just focused on completion and sort of hung my hat on that I can make a completed thing and it fits the requirements of said completed thing. But really it's about how you do it. Just like we're talking about skating, it's like what sets you apart is definitely how you do it. So that's what I'm focusing more on now, with pouring myself into the details of it unashamedly rather than trying to fit a predetermined price or something like that. I'm really taking that energy I was managing all of that with and putting it into this stuff, and I've seen people respond really kindly to it. Like, it comes across, which gives me motivation to keep doing that and keep on the right track, and like really just stay in my lane. Like, I've been guilty about sort of lane hopping because, I mean, really there shouldn't be any excuse, but I just didn't know any better, you know? I've been trying to take care of my family and do what I can to progress myself, and throughout that I've tried all different sorts of avenues to try to find what is best. But really what I had to land on is whatever I chose, I had to just go deeper in it instead of trying to find a thing for that thing to be the thing that takes off. You have to choose a thing intentionally, and that over time will turn into what like takes off.
It seems like a very natural progression. You know, how do you know what you... Example, a ways back you considered doing like production pieces.
Yeah.
Like making a ton of just clear with a small accent.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we have some people watching this that actually have some of these rigs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you were thinking about, okay, let's lean into that. I can lean into that. That's a way to survive, a way to feed my family. I can definitely sell more that way. Mm-hmm. You know, but a week into it and you're like, this is terrible. I could not sit here and make the same clear rig over and over and over again. Yeah.
Even successfully getting a big order that was great margins and what I would have wanted felt so exhausting. Like, it's just too sterile. And
you need to have those things, because like, how else would you know that that's not for you?
Right. If I hadn't done that, then even to this day I might be like, shit, I should probably try that, man. That could be better.
Yeah.
But really letting myself like not hard fail, but like do things and fail a little bit and feel what that feels like has definitely like helped pay off. I'm a big metaphor person, and it's almost like a bowling alley with bumpers. It's like you're going off the bumpers and then eventually hitting a strike. Like, it's uncomfortable, and that's not exactly where you intentionally want to aim, but you can get down to getting a strike off of like bumping off the bumpers, which represents me trying different styles and techniques and like ways of doing things. But if I had to give one piece of advice to people from someone who's done it imperfectly, don't take it as someone who's done it perfectly giving advice. Someone who's sort of like been in it and is still in it. Just stick with something that you can really back yourself. Stick with something that you in your mind really like what you see and really think it's dope, and stick with it. Yeah. I've been guilty of going for the quick bag, trying to find that way to make a quick bag, because you get caught up and you see people do it, but that's not how you want to pick what you do for a living, by seeing people do it. You got to find your own way of doing it.
I was super blessed. Shout out Kenny Benvenuti, my dad. He drilled a saying into mine and my sister's heads when we were younger, so much so that like he bought the book and then left the book beside the toilet. So it was like one of those things, like you saw it every time you went to the bathroom, and it was do what you love and the money will follow.
Love that.
So luckily it has never been something in my head to be like, oh, let's go do that because I can make money doing that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I think, man, there's a lot of reasons why I got caught up in everything. Partially because I was trying to make up for lost time. It was a big reason that I thought I needed to chase different ways of doing things. Because previously I'd been so successful that I like identified with it, and my life has changed, and I was like, this is who I am. Like, this success feels so good, it's so freeing and amazing. And then all of that fell apart, and it left me really struggling, like, who am I? And like, how can I replicate this feeling that I had of freedom? So I chased it, trying to find the same outcome, like money, and it just never materialized. Like, that had to be let go of. There was no option to rekindle that and undo it like I wanted so badly for so long. I had to put it aside and choose something new, which took a lot of overcoming pain, to be honest.
Dude, I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
Yeah, it was a lot to go through to like land on something, but now I'm here and I can do what I like and what I can back each day, and it pays off, and it affords me all this opportunity for growth too, Whereas when you are always switching stuff, you're always starting from a beginner standpoint, like all the time.
Yeah.
So eventually you got to pick something that you're willing to grow with. But that was hard for me because I popped off pretty quick before. So I thought that was available all the time. But now I've had to learn the like evergreen way, which is like sticking with something, which is a lot less stressful. So there's a lot of benefit that comes with it, and it's like my life is like way doper now. So there's a lot to enjoy about it, but was a lot of confusion for years about like what I'm doing and like why I'm doing it. It was trippy. But yeah, feels good to be where I'm at now. Long story short about how I got into glass. We'll take a couple more and then we'll end it. Let's see where these are at. Trying to find ones for both of us. Favorite way to consume cannabis. Well, I'll go first.
Yo.
I like smoking a Sherlock. That's what I'm doing now. I took 2 years.
So are you like an indica or sativa kind of guy?
Shit. Well. Oh shit, no.
Indica and sativa aren't real. They're not real. They're marketing campaigns. They used to be real, but they're fucking stupid marketing campaigns now.
Really?
Yes.
We just cracked open a can of whoop ass.
Yes.
Damn. All right.
Someone used to work in the genetics industry. Indica sativa is not a real thing. Just
what?
Yeah. Everything is so indica and sativa are references to how you feel, right?
A very amorphous measure of something you are trying to narrow down to put on a package.
And then they can also say like, well, indica is more of like a broad leaf, shorter plant, sativa's long. Yes, that is how they used to classify them.
Yeah.
But now everything is such a mix and wash of genetics that literally like whenever you go in and it says like, oh, this is an indica, someone smoked it and went, oh, this makes me sleepy, it's an indica.
Damn.
The whole thing about cannabis is that like you and I can smoke the same joint and have two different effects.
Yeah, that's real.
I mean, nothing like I'm going to get super crazy high and like whacked out and you're not going to feel anything and like just get a little sleepy. Like, no, we're both going to get high.
Yeah.
But as far as like the intricacies of it, like, oh, I feel like, oh my goodness, I got lost in that cartoon for 20 minutes. Whereas like, you know, another person's like, oh, you know, it actually just made me like really want to talk a lot.
Yeah.
Like those small things, that's very just dependent on your own biology.
That's real. I always knew it seemed like cap, all these things that they put on the dispensary, or all these things that are represented by dispensaries just smelled like cap, man. Yeah. It seems so sus. Like,
the best thing, if you want to like see like the best, and this is something that I even read on Reddit, which like, I understand, but like was just made the most sense to me, and then putting it out into actual use. The best thing you can do is use your own nose.
Okay.
So no matter what anyone says, if it's indica, sativa, blah, 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 use your nose, smell it, and go based off of that.
Interesting.
You know, have you ever like smelled just pure lavender?
Yeah.
And gotten a little relaxed. It's nice.
Sure.
Like, you smell a nice candle and it actually gives you a bit of like a buzz. Not like a buzz like, oh, I'm high, but like, oh, like, you know, give me a little kick.
Sensation.
Like, yeah. That, you know, you're gonna know more off of those scents, like smelling a jar of weed or smelling a bag.
Interesting. Than
you would like just going based off of like THC content.
Yeah, that one is hilarious. The fucking THC content. Oh my god. We just seen those numbers go up and up and up, and the weed get worse and worse.
Yeah,
it's like
somehow you can buy a $25 half ounce that's 30% THC.
Yeah.
Like liars. You're lying.
Remember getting like dank before it was even dispensary, like where you didn't have any words associated with it. You might be told what strain it is, but you just know.
It's good weed.
Yeah, it's just good weed. It's hella sticky. It's dried properly. It just like smokes great. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. So what I do now, I took 2 years off, and now I just smoke a bowl every once in a while out of a Sherlock, and
they have a heady ass Sweeney Sherlock.
The craziest Sweeney Sherlock. I need to post it more.
Okay.
But I have this like super baller Sweeney Sherlock that's all of his prep. It's insane. But honestly, I enjoy it more than I have like ever remembered enjoying it. Like, it's so satisfying. I don't have to smoke a lot. I get a nice effect, and I'm just like chilling. It's fucking nice. So that's my favorite way of consuming cannabis now. I don't really do anything else. So what about you?
Dab all day, every day. Yeah,
let's go.
Opposite.
We need that yin and yang dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is like I'm not gonna judge you. Like, when you didn't smoke, we were just as good as friends as when you do smoke.
Yeah.
Like, it's I don't know. Mama recently went sober.
Yeah.
Which, like, rad.
Yeah.
Like, fucking awesome. My big thing about cannabis and weed is that if you aren't getting what you're looking for out of it, if it's not, if you're like, if you're smoking to find something, or you're smoking to get somewhere, or get something, like, and it's not happening, like, then let's
that's your
calm
indicator.
down. Personally for me, I like dabs. If I smoke, I do still smoke a lot of flower. But what I find when I smoke flower, the high is actually it's a deeper, like, it's a more intricate high. I'm using the word intricate a lot this podcast.
It's okay. You have your words. The other one was ancillary, which was kind of came from left field. You used you dropped it like twice last podcast, and I was like, I need to look this up, but I forgot to look it up. Whatever.
Ancillary.
Situationally?
Outside the realm of normal things.
Okay.
So, like a ancillary part of the slurper set is a pearl.
Okay.
It's like the small little side piece.
Okay. Anyway. And you get a more intricate high off of flower.
Yeah, there's more parts to it.
It could be that it helps the non-psychoactive components could actually help, like, pave the way for the psychoactive components.
You get so much more of the cannabis plant whenever you smoke just the flower versus any sort of concentrate. Even like hash rosin, you still lose out on some cannabinoids. Yeah. And the whole thing about weed is the entourage effect. It's not like I've taken pure THC dabs, like a crystal of THC. Yeah, it feels like your head's on fire.
Oh, damn.
Not legitimately like your head is on fire, but it is all just boom. Like just a brain burst. Like, I did not feel body anything at all. It was just like, oh my God. Can't think.
That sounds so uncomfortable.
Maintain. It's awesome. And then, but then, like, real nice hash rosin dab. And, like, you get a very flower-like effect because you're getting more of a plant.
Nice. Yeah. The less processed it is, the more effect.
I heard some bro science about dabbing that because you have cannabinoid receptors, you have all that stuff in your body, that when you dab, you're actually overloading that to the point that, like, you get that blast, you're super high, you get all the effects, but then because, like, all of your receptors get filled very quickly, that it actually kind of shuts down and it stops accepting more. So that's why, like, a dab high is very quick and pungent, but then you tend to come down from it faster. Whereas, like, a flower high, you'll smoke and it's like one of those things that kind of build and build.
That's why the 1-2 punch is so effective. Dab and a rip. Get you where you need to be. So what's your favorite consistency of hash or rosin or oil, or your preference of that in general? I know that's a topic of a lot of conversation.
Yeah. I mean, because I will smoke anything BHO or hash.
Really?
Yeah.
Some people won't touch BHO. Some people are too good for it.
Come on. See that dirty CRC word. Jesus. Started a whole debate about that. I just want clean, good meds, to be honest. It's really hard to say, like...
Jesus. Out of battery.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We killed the battery.
We killed the battery. We got to end it.
You can't see us, but We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Love you guys.
Stay corny.